Good evening. Dortmund lost to Belgrade. What does that even mean? Oh my. Anyway, good afternoon, Ife. How are you doing? Let me know if you guys can hear me, because I can't hear anyone.
There's another one of me,
Okay, okay,
and
very
both of them are saying the same. Both of them are saying the same thing.
good. I don't even know what Belgrade is, but anyway, is your how are you even logged on twice without like it's doing an echo effect?
So
And
you know Real Madrid, right?
yeah, I know Real Madrid.
Cause I'm actually not. So I went in through Brave and it just perpetually said joining meeting. So I
Huh.
removed, and they're both mad at Real Madrid.
So are you on your phone and then on another browser or how are you?
Oh no, I'm just on another browser.
Oh, okay, interesting. Very cool. Okay, so let me share my screen. Um, did you get to finish the project?
Probably should have because my schedule is completely free, but no.
Okay, okay. Um, in that case, let's focus on getting the project done. Um, and then Ife, how is the project going for you? I think you already submitted it, but you didn't um do the like making it live on the internet portion. So I got your code. I think I got your sister's code also, but I didn't actually get like the internet version of it, which member for project two, you want to make it live on the internet. So let me just see really quickly. Ife, are you there? Let me go ahead and share my screen while he's just to make sure he's there. Yeah. So today is like a very every day, every week, I feel like I'm saying it's a big. Right now, there's so many big concepts, so it feels like every week is such a big week because every week is like contains such huge concepts. So today we're getting into JavaScript, but before we even get into JavaScript,
Mm.
well, first of all, make sure that we have project two done because it won't make much sense of us getting into JavaScript if we don't have project two done. So let me go ahead and share my
What
screen.
was projects two again?
Project two is like okay,
The
if I send the
calculator?
direct yeah, the calculator. So if we're not able to do project two fully, then it won't make any sense to like get into JavaScript today. So that's why I want to make sure everyone
Oh
has a full
man.
understanding of JavaScript first. Can you see my screen? Okay,
Yes.
very good. So now so let's first of all let's finish up project two. Let's make sure everyone is able to get that working. So again, for project two, not only did you have to get the code correct, but you want to make it live on the internet because we're going to extend our understanding of HTML and CSS now into JavaScript. And it's very important for you to actually know how to make a website live before we get into JavaScript. So I want to make sure everyone knows how to actually make a website live first. So let's just make sure we all understand how to get that website that we built for project two to be live. Let me just go to um, for project two really quickly. Let me see. I think it's in websites. I'm just pulling it up really quickly in my web browser. I believe it's going to be 5.4 notes. Yeah. Okay. So this is what it looked like. This is what the code looks like for your project two. Hopefully everyone is able to get this working correctly. And now I believe I showed you guys how to make it live. So that if I go to github.com and I think it's even still saved. Yeah, there it is. GitHub.com. And what I did was I put it under RCCG Chosen Gen. I made an account for Chosen Gen, and then I put it under the repo called Calc, the repository called Calc. So if I go to that website on the internet, oh, why didn't it take me to there? Let me see. Oh, I think it's github.io.
Mm-hmm.
And then, no, that's not, let me see. There's a syntax to use when you make a site live on GitHub. Let me just Google it really quickly. When in doubt, you can just Google it. What is the URL for GitHub pages? Yeah. Username.github.io. Okay, very good. So it's username.github.io. So in my case, it's going to be actually RCCG chosen gen .github.io/calc. I believe that's it. Oh, that's right. I redirected mine to my personal website. So
Nice website.
so I redirected mine to my personal website, davididaily.com. And I showed you guys last week how to buy a domain name with your first and last name. In case you want to do that. So yeah, so it's working, but it's taking me to like davididaily.com because I redirected it. Let me go ahead and redirect it back so you can see it. Let me go into my profile, my GitHub, and then it's going to be under settings. And I'm just going to turn off the redirect. That's all I'm going to do. So I'm going to go to pages, GitHub pages right here on the left side. And then I'm going to, there should be a domain here that I added. There are no verified domains. Why is that so? There's no verified domains. Okay, that means I'm probably not logged in. But I am logged in. Let's see what's going on. Okay, anyway, that's fine. I don't want to waste too much time on it. So it's redirecting me because that I last video that I made, if you watch the video from last week, I go through how I redirected it to my personal like domain. I'm just trying to undo that, but I'm not seeing how you undo that really quickly. But anyway, here's how you here's the code that I uploaded last week. So it should be under index.html, which I can just access by going to calc. So I should be able to access. If I didn't do the redirect, it would take me straight there when I go to my username.github.io/the repo. So if I go to, for example, let me do it again, RCCG chosen gen.github.io, and I take out calc, it tells me 404 because there's nothing there. And then as soon as I add calc, it should take me to that repo. But actually, let me just do something real quick. Let me add another repository just to show you that it works. So let me add another repository. Instead of calc, let me just add another repo called let me add a repository called like test. And then I'll make it public. Okay, very good. So test now exists. So instead of going to calc, let me put test just to show you. Oh, actually, it's still going to redirect me, I believe. Let's find out. Okay, good. It did. So it took me this, and then nothing exists in test. So let me just put something inside of test. So to put something inside of test, I'll just do like new. Just do edit, create new. Let's just do file. Could I do a new file? Okay, create a new file. Very good. I'm just gonna put I'll give the file name index.html, because if you call it index by just going to test the directory, it's gonna automatically open the file. And then I'll just put like h1 I am another repository. Anyway, that's all I need to. I'm just trying to make sure it works. Commit the change, commit the change. Very good. Now it exists. Now let me refresh. Oh, slash test. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's not allowing me to do it. Anyway, that's fine. So I think I have to basically just remove the redirect for calc. When I go to calc, yeah, it redirects me to I just have to remove that redirect. I'll focus on that next time. But I want to make sure everyone knows how to actually put their code on GitHub and to make the website live, because that's like a critical step. So let me just quickly make sure everyone knows how to do that. So Ifed, do you want to share your screen? Or either of you, Ifed or Moyi, do you want to share your screen? Because I know you finished. You're able to finish the project. I just want to show you how to make it live.
Do I just go to my email?
Share your screen. Let me show you. Let me make you the host.
I'm kind of using my phone right now.
Okay, I think that should be fine. Are you able to pull up the code on your phone?
I think I can pull up what I sent to you on the email.
Okay, very good. So let me make you the host so you can share your screen. Is it letting you share? Okay, very good. So now on your phone, it's going to be a little bit tricky, but that's fine. I just want you to go to github.com and yeah, go to github.com. Now, did you already make an account? Did you already make an account, Moyin?
I did.
Okay, very good. So log into your GitHub account, and now
I think I'm logged in.
you're logged in. Very good. Now, to create a repository, make sure it's public, first of all.
Where do I go to make it public?
Go back to the login. Scroll down. Do you see where it says public or private?
Oh, okay.
It has to be public. And now give it a name. What do you want to call it?
I'll just say project 2.
Very good. Let's not add a space. Yeah, because it doesn't like spaces. Very good. Now create a new repository. Go ahead. Okay, very good. So now you created the repository. Now you want to add code to it by scrolling down, and then you see where it says create a new file. It's like kind of hard to see, but it's like blue. It says get started by creating a new file.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
tap
Yeah.
that to create a new file. Very good. Okay. Now, let's give the file a name. I called mine calc. What do you want to call it? You want to call project 2 again?
Sure.
Project 2 again. Okay. So the name of the file is going to be project2.html. It has to have an extension of HTML though. Okay. Very good. Now save that. Oh, actually, no, I'm sorry. The file has to be index.html. It has to be indexed. It has to be indexed because
Wait,
no,
that's
can't be
.html.
it can't be project 2 at all because you want to be able to just go to project 2, that directory, project 2, and have it automatically open, and it has to be a lowercase I.
Okay.
Yeah. That way, when you just go to the project2.folder, it's going to automatically open the web page. Very, very good. Now the file is called index.html, so it automatically opens when you go to just project 2. Now you want to put the code into the actual into that the content. So go back to your email and just paste all that code you submitted for project 2. And if you emailed it to me, you can just go, yeah, and then you can just like oh, did you email the code or the file? Oh my goodness.
I emailed the link.
Oh, you didn't email the actual code. Do you have the actual code on your phone?
No, I have it on my on a laptop. I'm gonna have to turn it on first.
Okay, okay. Ife, do you have your code in your phone by chance? Are you able to email yourself your code? So or Moyu, can you join the meeting on your laptop?
I'll try. It's just gonna take a little bit.
Okay.
Wait, were we supposed to send the link or the code? Because I sent the link.
You were supposed to send the link, but to the link to your GitHub. It was supposed to be the link to your GitHub, not to like the file.
Oh,
Yeah, you're supposed to get it working on your GitHub and then send me the link to the GitHub. So all I have to do is visit the link and it opens up anywhere in the world. But you sent me the link to the file. Both of you guys did. So go ahead and email yourself the code or just log in to the Zoom meeting on your laptop. Go ahead and do that real quick. So in the meantime, let me think. Okay, in the meantime, yeah, I'll start introducing JavaScript. So let me stop the share. So we'll come back to you after we'll give you some time to log into your laptop and then we'll come back to you. So let me go ahead and take and share my screen again. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and introduce JavaScript. Let me just find my notes. So here's the link for the slides. Actually, yeah, let me see. Let me send the link to the slides app. Actually, no, I'll just give you a link right now. Let me see. Yeah, because the slides are not finished for JavaScript. But let me just do something real quick. Okay, very good. So let me send you the link to the slides in the chat. Okay, so that's the link for the slides. And I'll finish up the slides like right after the meeting. They're almost done. It's a very basic introduction, but it is an important introduction. So, because it's a heavy topic. So now that we have like a good grasp of HTML and CSS, we're basically at the point where we can start learning a full-featured programming language. And that we're not going to attempt to obviously learn like the full language because that's going to make this class very long. We only have like a couple more weeks. After this, I'm just going to show you WordPress, and then we're going to be done. Because you have enough of it. Oh, let me make sure everyone has access. Let me see. Okay, now it should be fine. Okay. So yeah, so JavaScript is obviously incredibly heavy or very deep. There's a lot to learn, so there's no way we have time to get really into fully into JavaScript. So, but we are going to be because we know enough now to start learning the basics. We're going to go ahead and learn the basics. Obviously, a lot of the tools we're using right now, they're made by programming languages. They're made by programmers. So that's why it's a very deep topic. JavaScript will allow you to build an application like Zoom. It's going to allow you to build an application like, Gmail, like Google Chrome. It allows you to build a lot of really powerful tools. The good thing about JavaScript is that once you know HTML and CSS, it's way, way, way easier to learn JavaScript than if you try to learn it without knowing anything about HTML or CSS. It's like 10 times easier to learn JavaScript once you already know HTML and CSS. That's why it's a good point to start learning it. JavaScript builds heavily on HTML and CSS. So by just knowing those two languages already, you're able to very, very more easily or a lot more easily pick up JavaScript, which is going to allow you to fully control almost every aspect of a web page. And it's even a bigger language than just for web development. But it will allow you to fully control every aspect of a web page. You can add music to the page, add a video, store people's information. Obviously, you can make social media websites like TikTok. You can make a private page like the portal, the gradebook portal that you have at startcanyon.org. It lets you build a lot of cool things. You can build digital coins like Bitcoin, Ethereum. Anyway, JavaScript is like a full-featured programming language. You can do a lot with it. So there's not enough time to get into all of it. We'll just learn the very basics. But let me go ahead and give you a link to some good YouTube tutorials. One of them is by
You can also use Khan Academy.
What's that?
You can also use Khan Academy for that one.
Yes, Khan Academy is very good. Here's a YouTube playlist by this Nigerian guy. I like this guy a lot. He's very cool. He explains it with like pidgin, so but he's very cool. It's got a good tutorial. And then besides Khan Academy, also this is one by a guy that teaches software development at Microsoft. So he's very like professional. That's the second link. And then the last link I'll give you is the book, a book on JavaScript by the same author as the book that you already have on HTML and CSS. So this is a book by Duckett. So you can download it from this Google Drive link. And John Duckett, he's very good at teaching HTML, CSS. His JavaScript book is not as good as his HTML, CSS book, in my opinion, but it's still very, very good. So I would definitely, if you want the book, download that book, that last Google Drive link. And obviously the book is like going to be a really good resource. But a YouTube playlist is also very good for learning JavaScript. So that second YouTube link, that playlist by the guy, Melly, who's like a software developer or teacher for Microsoft, he's very good also. And then of course, Khan Academy can teach you JavaScript also. So you have all those resources. Okay, so basically what we're going to do is we're just going to add JavaScript first to our project 2. We already use JavaScript in our project 2, so it shouldn't be too difficult. But when we did our project 2, we were kind of ignoring the JavaScript. We didn't want to get too deep into it. We use JavaScript like in the eval function and in the like input functions to do all the math. We use JavaScript functions, but we didn't really get too much into it. We kind of ignored it and glossed over it a little bit. But now we're going to actually fully learn what we were doing in project 2 when we're using that eval function. We're going to fully learn the JavaScript we already used. And then we're going to add even more JavaScript to project 2 to make it really cool. This is why it's absolutely critical that you're able to finish project 2 first, because if you don't already know how to do project 2, you're going to be lost when we start adding more JavaScript to it. So, okay, so just like the style elements we used in CSS, if you remember when we learned CSS, we first learned by introducing style elements. You have to like start CSS by style tags. So JavaScript is actually quite similar to that. Whenever we start writing JavaScript, it's typical to put everything inside of what are called script elements. So instead of style elements now, we have script elements. But luckily, it looks very much like style elements, except instead of saying style, it just says script. So you can add a little bit more to it, like you could add like text equals JavaScript, and I'll show you what that means. But for now, we'll just keep it simple. Just like we have style elements, we're going to now use script elements to add JavaScript to our pages. Let me just go ahead and quickly demonstrate that. Okay, let me give it a name. So I'm going to put it on my desktop. I'm just going to create a new file. I'm going to call it, today is 6/1. And I've just been calling it like key1.html. And I'm going to save it as all files. And very good. So I'm going to save that. Okay, here it is. Why is it untitled? Oh, I think I saved the wrong file. Anyway, let me just go ahead and start this. So first of all, I'm just going to do like an H1 just to, give the sites, the web page some content. I'm just going to put like, I am in H1 just to give it some content. And I'll close the H1. I'll close it properly well, I'll just close it on the same line. And now I'm going to create let me make this big so you can see what I'm doing. Now I'm going to create my actual, or instead of saying yeah, that's fine. I'm going to create my first script element, script. And then I'm going to close it off the way we always close it off. And now, oh, I forgot the R. And now everything inside of these script tags is going to be JavaScript. So I'll just start writing by some very basic JavaScript. I'm going to do what's called a console log. And the console log, or actually even before that, let me just do an alert. And I'll just do an alert, and the alert is just going to be, hi, I am JavaScript. And then I'll put it in quotes, in double quotes, and then I'll close the alert, and I'll close everything with a semicolon. Just kind of like in CSS, how you have to have like a semicolon at the end of each rule in CSS. In JavaScript, after every like statement, after every line, basically, you have to have a semicolon to terminate the line or terminate the statement. So this is our first JavaScript statement. I'm just doing a simple alert saying, hi, let me put a comma. Hi, I am JavaScript. And let me save that. Okay, let me give it a name again. I'm just going to call it 6/1. This time I'll just give it p2.html. So I already used p1. Okay, very good. Now let me open that in the browser. All right, so let me go to my desktop. I want to go to my desktop. Okay, there it is. So I'm just going to my desktop, and then I want, I called it 6/1, and I called it p2.html. And as soon as I go to this website, the JavaScript should instantly run. So I should instantly get an alert that says, hi, I'm JavaScript. Let's see what happens. Very good. So the JavaScript instantly runs, and it just like the page just keeps loading. the page never stops loading because that's kind of how powerful JavaScript is. You can control the loading of the page itself. So the page is, as you can see, it's just like continuing to load because I'm running JavaScript right away before I even load the page. And it says, this page says, hi, I'm JavaScript. So just like in CSS, how when we put things inside of style tags, it tells the browser to listen for CSS. We can tell the browser to start listening for JavaScript when we put the code inside of script tags. And as soon as I click on OK, the code finishes running, and then I see the actual web page. So the alert function basically is a function that will stop the running of the web page or the loading of the web page and alert us to something. It's very basic. It's one of the most basic functions, if not the most basic function in JavaScript. It's just a simple alert. You can use the alert to do a lot of really cool stuff. We'll use it a lot. And also a very useful function is the console log, which I'll go ahead and demonstrate now. Console log is just going to like spit out JavaScript into the dev tools for us. So if I do console log, the same thing, and I save, now when I refresh the page, you don't see anything happen. But if I use the dev tools, if I inspect and I look inside my dev tools, you'll see that if I go into console, which is the console of the web page, it will show me the log. This is console.log. If I go into the console, it'll show you I said, hi, I'm JavaScript. So it will kind of output or print out into the console what I did this. It's going to log into the console what I put inside of my console.log. So this is a very useful way of like doing a lot of stuff, testing a lot of stuff in JavaScript. Is just use the console log, and it's going to print out whatever you did inside of the console in the dev tools. So, okay. Make sure you're able to do that. But alerts is a very, very, the only thing that's not good about alert is, again, it stops the page from loading. So with the console log, the page can continue to load, but alert is going to stop the page from loading completely. So if I refresh this again, the page won't even finish loading, and it's going to right away alert me with whatever I put inside the alert. Okay. So let's go back to project 2. Let's see if when you're able to log in. Were you able to log in? Or get your...
I'm sending the code to my email right now.
Okay. In that case, we'll just wait for that to finish. Ifan, are you able to send yourself the code also? We only have one laptop, so I was waiting for more. Oh, okay, that's fine. What I'll probably do then is I'll give you guys a laptop next week so you can each have a laptop. Yeah, I'll bring my laptop next week, or one of our student laptops. It's a Chromebook, but that's fine. All you need is a basic Chromebook should be all you need to be able to get project 2 finished up. In the meantime, let me go ahead and make you the host. Moya, I'll make you the host. Well, actually, before that, I want to show you what's going to happen if I actually don't use script tags. So let me go ahead and make just really quickly show you something. So let me share my screen real quick. So let's see what happens if I accidentally misspell the script tags. Let me just delete the R. So if I misspell this, let me show you what happens now if I save. And I'm just going to leave everything the same. If I save it now, well, actually, first of all, what do you think is going to happen? What does someone think? Can anyone tell me, what do you think is going to happen if I misspell script. So it's no longer,
It won't write.
very good. The browser shouldn't even recognize this as JavaScript, and it won't run the alert. So let's see what happens. So, very good. Good. So you're absolutely right. So instead, it just basically assumed that it was HTML. And you never really know what's going to happen when you don't spell something correctly. So I would not have expected it to output anything, but it did output something. It basically ignored the tags completely and just assumed that like I was trying to do HTML. But it didn't even include this script at all, which tells you it's not like completely assuming everything is HTML. Otherwise, it would have actually like printed this like as part of the HTML page. I don't know, but it just like completely ignored the this part in the closing tag, and it just like outputted the that line. So okay, that's what happens if you don't spell it correctly. Is the code is just going to get spit out to the like it's HTML into the page. So let me save that again and refresh, and very good. Now the alert is working again. And the alert, because JavaScript is like a full featured programming language, you can do math directly in JavaScript. You can do like 99 times, I don't know, like 16, and just save that, and it's going to execute the math because it's a full featured programming language. All full featured programming languages are capable of doing math directly in line. So you don't have to like do anything special. They can directly execute math. So if I refresh, it's going to automatically give me the result of 99 times 16, which is very crazy. And the same thing will happen if I use the console log. If I do console.log, 99 times 16, and I save that, and I refresh, and I open up my DevTools to see the console. If I go inside the console, it gives me the result of 99 times 16. It automatically just executes the math, no matter how complex the math is. I don't want to spend too much time doing complex math, but let me show you if I do like something like I believe it's going to be EXP to the, or actually, let me do log, log of like, I'll just leave it. I think log by default is log base 2. Log of 99 once. Let's just see what happens if I do that. Log of that. Let me save that and see what happens in my console log. Oh, geez.
2.135.
Log is not defined. I think
Try,
exponent.
try square root. Try
Oh,
square root.
yes. Square root is SQRT, I believe.
Yep.
Let me save that and let me refresh. Oh my goodness, square root is not defined. Okay, to do square root, I believe what you have to do is you have to do.
I think is that dog. Oh.
I think for square root you have to do to the like 0.5 power. I think you have to do like the use the pow function. Let's see. So this is good. Let's explore. Let's see what happens if I try to do that. But JavaScript is kind of okay. So for some reason, it ignored like the 0.15 power. Interesting. Anyway, I know division does work also. Let me do time divided by 12. Yeah, so division works just fine. I think exponents are actually, let me just see. JavaScript exponents. Oh, it's a double star. It's a double star in JavaScript. Look at that. So to do like exponents or to do square root, I would do double star and then to the 0.5 power. So now let me save it and rerun it. And very good. It gives me the square root of 99.16. Let me just test that by doing 16 to the 0.05 power or 0.5 power, which is basically to the half power. If you remember what a square root is, it's taking something to like the half power has the same effect as the square root. So now if I refresh, it gives me 4 for a square root of 16. So that's how you do a square root in in JavaScript, I can also obviously do that as an
Yes.
alert. I can do it as an alert also. And it'll give me the square root of 16, which is 4. Okay, very good.
It did it?
Yeah. So that's how you do square roots. You basically send it to the half power. And to do powers, you'd use 2 stars instead of 1 star for multiplication. 1 star is multiplication. 2 stars in JavaScript is for the power of something. Okay, let's go ahead and go back to Moyi. Let's see what she's up to. Okay, Moyi, go ahead and share your screen. I'll make you the host. Okay, perfect. So yeah, just copy all the code.
Yeah, this is in my email.
Copy all of the code in your email. Make sure you include that head, the beginning of that head tag.
How do I just copy everything on my phone?
It's like put your tap the head tag, and then like hold it, and then it's gonna give you like that little, yeah. And now just drag that the beginning to the very beginning of it, the first one to the very beginning. Move that pin to the very beginning, and then move the second pin all the way down to the end. Are you able to see when you highlight it? Yeah, are you able to move that last pin and just like move it down? Very
Okay.
good. Yeah, yeah, just like that. Move that pin all the way to the end. Yeah, it's a little bit tricky on your phone. You have to just like move that pin independently of everything else and move that pin all the way to the end. Yeah, move it all the way to the very end. Oh, you moved it too far. Oh, you moved it too far. Right before that style, you want to move it to like right before the end of that style tag. Yeah. You want to just move that pin all the way to the end. And just before the end of that style tag is where you want to stop. Keep going, keep going. You went too far. What you can also try is start from the very end and then come back up. Very good. And then come back the opposite way. Yeah. Very good. Yeah. And now that you've highlighted it all, just like tap it, copy. Now go back into your GitHub. And now paste it into the content of the file. Yeah, and then paste. Very good. Now go to the very bottom. Make sure you close that style tag out. Very good. Now go to the very top and make sure that that everything is correct. Go to the very top. Okay, very good. Now save that or commit changes to save it. And then just, that's fine. That's your commit message. Go ahead and commit that. And now it should be saved. Okay, very good. Now it's saved. Now you want to make that public. Let me show you what to do. Go back, click on the back arrow to go to your, or click on the 3 lines. And, oh, no, not the, go click on your profile picture. Sorry, click on your profile picture. Okay, good. Now scroll down. And then, Okay, scroll down.
What is GitHub?
What is GitHub? GitHub is
Mhm.
basically,
Oh
yeah.
no, I know what GitHub is. That was the
Oh,
poster that
I
we're
see.
showing.
I see. I didn't even notice that. Okay, go back to that repository that you were in. Click on that repository name, Moyi Bello Project 2. Click on that, So click on the three dots at the top, not those, not the other ones, the one below that, yeah. Click on settings. Okay, very good. Now click on pages. Okay, very good. Now, when you click on pages, it should give you the option to make it public. Did you already click on pages?
Yeah, I did.
Strange. You tapped on pages? Oh, okay. There it is. Okay, so deploy from a branch, that's fine. And then click on the arrow, right? From deploy from a branch. Click on that arrow that says, okay, that's fine. Leave it as that. And then the branch, select the source below to enable
Yes,
GitHub
Eddie?
pages.
No,
Um,
it's
instead of
52.
none,
It's 52.
instead of none,
Sorry.
change the branch to, oh, what happened?
Oh, it just moved me up.
Oh yeah, instead of none, yeah, select main.
Nice
Okay, very
branch.
good. Now save. Good. Now, okay, okay. Now scroll down to pages again. Okay. So scroll down more. Okay, I think that's it. Okay, see your domain is moyinbello.github.io. So
Yeah,
you can copy that domain really quickly and test it out. And don't forget your repository is called Project 2. So copy that really quickly.
I copied it.
Okay, now go to open up a new tab. And it sometimes takes a while for your GitHub Pages project to be live, but open up any web browser. Open up a web browser and okay, take out the dot at the very end of the web browser of the page. Replace the dot with slash, and then you called your project 2 with the capital P, right?
Yeah,
Project 2. And because you called it index.html, you should be able to just go and it should open up the index in .html. Perfect. Good job. Oh, so, okay, very good. I thought the background wasn't going to show, but you did everything correctly. So far, it looks great. Fantastic. And it takes a while to load because you're using the background image is like high quality. It's like a big image. So that's the full project 2, is to get it looking good on the internet. And now it's on the internet. So perfect. Great job. Okay, Effect, are you able to get that? And yeah, it should work perfectly. So let me go ahead and test it on my end. Let me make myself the host. Let me make sure that it's working on my end really quickly. So let me just make myself the host. Let me see.
can I stop sharing?
Yes, I'll make myself the host right now. Okay, so let me share my screen. Okay, very good. So now let me just test that I can access her website on my end also. If I go to Mori Bello, Bello dot GitHub .io/project2. What is it Moyi Bello with 2 L's? I think that's correct.
Yeah.
With 2 L's, that's correct?
It's Moyolua.
Oh,
My
Moyolua. I'm so Moyolua. Okay, very good. Moyolua Bello at github.github.io. Okay, perfect, perfect. And then, of course, we can also add the index.html at the end of it, and it should do the exact, should take us to the same place. But because the file is called index.html, what's good about that file name is it's always optional. We don't need to put it there at all. So, whereas if you named it something else, we would have to give the actual name of the file. But if it's index.html, it's optional to give the file name. So that's very nice, fantastic. And let me just test something. Minus like 45, that should be 18, perfect. 3 times 7. Perfect. Very good. And I see that you even named it correctly, your calculator. So now that's a complete project too. So everyone should be able to finish that. And just send me the link to your actual live web page on the internet. So you don't have to buy a domain with your personal name, that's fine. But send me the link to your live website at minimum, and then just send that to my email. So I'll give everyone 1 more week to get that done. So you should be able to just, Moni is basically done. Do the exact same thing she just did, and just send me the link to your GitHub pages URL. So to your website, all live on the internet. So, all right, I want to make sure everything is done for project 2 before we go too far into into JavaScript. So, but I do want to quickly introduce variables for JavaScript really quickly. So for JavaScript, unlike CSS, we don't really have like we didn't really have variables in CSS. In CSS, everything we didn't need to store anything. But in JavaScript, because it's a full-featured programming language, we start needing to store things. And so you can see right now, I'm doing alerts of 16 to the power of 0.5. In JavaScript, we want to actually store like a lot of things in variables. We want to start using storage. And this is crazy because when we store things in JavaScript, they are stored in the memory of the browser. So we're finally getting into where we're storing information, data into the browser directly. And we'll talk about like where exactly in the browser that memory is being stored. But basically, any modern web browser like Google Chrome or Firefox, it's going to be like, it has a lot of memory capacity. And if you store too much in the browser, you can actually crash the browser. Next week, we'll look at how you can crash the browser. Just because I want to show you that you can crash your browser with JavaScript. So if you store too much in the browser, of course the browser is going to crash. So it's going to, and that's
Wait, so is this like the cache?
Yeah, it's storing in the cache of the browser. So if you don't have enough memory or enough RAM in your machine, it's just going to crash the browser. So anyway, let's store, the way you store things in JavaScript is you use the keyword var for variable. And so you're just going to create a variable. Let's call it like x equals 16, just to make it like more mathematical. So everyone should know a variable like is commonly called x in math. We'll keep that. But in programming, for some reason, they like to use I for integer.
I
for integer. Anytime you have an integer, for some reason, they like to use the I in programming. So we'll just keep that like tradition. And then 0.5 is not an integer. So we're going to give it a different name. We're going to call it like D for decimal. And that's also traditional. So if you have a decimal, usually they'll call it like D. And if you have another decimal, they'll call it like D2. But in the programming world, I is usually reserved for integers, and then D is also for decimals, which basically is anything that can has like they can be less than 1, or greater than, or basically not like a whole number. So anyway, so now that we have these variables I and D for integer and decimal, we're going to use them because in JavaScript, you want to use variables. You don't want to use like direct numbers because we might end up using those numbers again. So we're going to replace our 16 with I and our 0.5 with D. And now we're going to save. And then we're going to rerun the code. So I'm going to refresh. And the alert should do the exact same thing. And it still gives me 4, which is the square root of 16. I'm taking 16, which is I, to the power of 0.5. I'm doing the square root of 16, that is, and it gives me 4, which is the square root of 16. So that's correct. I can obviously do the same thing with console log. Console.log I to the power of D. If I save that, and I refresh my page, but I click on OK first, and I refresh. Now it doesn't do anything because this is in the console, because I'm logging it into the console. So I have to open up the console for my DevTools. I'll inspect the page, and then I'll go into the console of my DevTools, and I'll see that the square root of I and D is 4. It's right there. So you can also, what's nice about the console is oftentimes you can write JavaScript directly in the console. For example, I can do var equals I2, and I can give I2 a value of like 8, or let's give it a value of like 64. Yeah. So I don't want to put equals. Var is like the designation for variable, and I'll give the actual name of my variable, which is I2, equals 64. So you don't want to do what I just did. You don't want to make the mistake of doing like var equals, because var is just like a designation for variable. So if you put var equals, like that doesn't mean anything. You have to actually like, right after var, you're going to give it a name. So it's going to be I2 for integer 2, and integer 2 is going to equal 64. I'm going to end that statement with the semicolon, and then I'm going to hit enter, and notice that it just like executes that. It doesn't do anything. So you can run JavaScript directly in the console. Let me declare another variable, or decimal this time. I'm going to use the same decimal, which is 0.5. But actually, I want to show you something. Anyway, I'll show you something next time. So D is, again, going to equal 0.5. And I'll save that again. And now if I do the same thing, if I do console.log, but instead of like I to the power of D, I'll do I2 to the power of D. It should give me the square root of 64. And when I hit enter, it gives me the square root of 64, which is 8. So you can run JavaScript directly in the console. But it's better, obviously, because you want to save your code, to actually do it in a file and then like run that file. That's like the better way of doing it. Because notice as soon as I close this web browser, all of this is gone. So I want to be able to save the file so that when I close everything, the file, my code is still saved in the file, of course. So, okay, very good. We'll go ahead and stop there. We'll continue with JavaScript, basic JavaScript next time. Go ahead and practice this, how to store a variable, an integer and a decimal, and then how to like output those variables in JavaScript. And make sure though, before you do that, get project 2 finished and send me your live URL for project 2, your live link from GitHub. Okay, you send me a file. If that's your code, that's good, but I want to actually see the link. So I'll go ahead and download that, but send me your actual link. Okay, I'll check it later. All right, very good. Okay, yeah, you're done with project 2. That was the last step. Just send me the link, and now I have your link, Moini, so you're done with project 2. So everyone else, make sure you send me a link like this for your project 2. It should be like your name, whatever you call your GitHub profile, and then github.io / whatever you call your repository. She called hers project 2, whatever you want to call your first repository that you're going to use for your GitHub webpage. Okay? If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.